Marine and stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel. Palestine will be free.
The arm of a protester was broken as security officers tried to remove him for interrupting a meeting at the U.S. Capitol. Footage posted by anti-war women's group Code Pink showed the protester, identified by multiple media outlets as U.S. Marine veteran Brian McGinnis, shouting messages such as, "No one wants to fight for Israel," as he interrupted a Senate Armed Services subcommittee hearing.
Please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel.
Why are you here? Why are you getting arrested?
Free Palestine, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Palestine will be free.
Oh my God, they broke his arm. Oh man.
We just witnessed a Marine veteran interrupting the hearing, and they broke his arm.
Why did he interfere?
Because there is a war in Iran, and our military brothers and sisters are going to die for Israel, and we are here to say no. We do not support Israel. We do not want to die for Israel. Stop the war in Iran right now.
And what did they do to him?
They pulled him out, got his arm trapped in a door, broke his arm, tackled him to the ground. It was a very, very intense situation.
America does not want to fight this war in Iran, and the soldiers don't, right, Brian?
No, they don't. American citizens don't want to send their sons and daughters to fight in Iran. We're fighting for Israel.
One more leg, just so you don't trip it off, please.
Security personnel later escorted McGinnis down the hallway, where he was seen seated against a wall as additional officers surrounded him. McGinnis is a former Marine sergeant and a Green Party candidate running in North Carolina's U.S. Senate race.
Please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. No one wants to fight for Israel.
Why are you here? Why are you getting arrested?
Free Palestine, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Palestine will be free.
Oh my God, they broke his arm. Oh man.
We just witnessed a Marine veteran interrupting the hearing, and they broke his arm.
Why did he interfere?
Because there is a war in Iran, and our military brothers and sisters are going to die for Israel, and we are here to say no. We do not support Israel. We do not want to die for Israel. Stop the war in Iran right now.
And what did they do to him?
They pulled him out, got his arm trapped in a door, broke his arm, tackled him to the ground. It was a very, very intense situation.
America does not want to fight this war in Iran, and the soldiers don't, right, Brian?
No, they don't. American citizens don't want to send their sons and daughters to fight in Iran. We're fighting for Israel.
One more leg, just so you don't trip it off, please.
Earlier, at a Senate hearing, Democratic Senator Angus King questioned Undersecretary of Defense Elbridge Colby about Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's influence on the U.S. decision to join Israel in striking Iran.
Mr. Colby, you're in charge of policy, so I'm going to ask you some policy questions with regard to Iran. When I woke up Saturday morning to the news, the first question that popped into my mind was, why now? Why now? What was the precipitating factor? And there was discussion of an imminent threat of missiles. There was discussion of rebuilding the nuclear capacity, but none of those were imminent in any way. Yesterday, Secretary Rubio told us why now. In a stunning statement, we knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces, and we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched these attacks, we would suffer higher casualties. Have we now delegated the most solemn decision that can be made in our society, the decision to go to war, to another country? That's the implication, the breathtaking implication of Secretary Rubio's statement, which to me is the only explanation I've seen as to why this action was taken when it was. There were no objective facts on the ground that said this is something we have to do now. There were no missiles being loaded on launchers. There was not a nuclear bomb being rolled out. I'd like some response on policy. Is it now the policy of the United States that we're going to be taken into a war by the prime minister of another country?
Well, sir, what I would say is, and I think Secretary Hegseth and General Kane went into this yesterday, that it was, and the president has talked about this as well, is the very rapid buildup and reconstitution of Iran's ballistic missile, cruise missile, and one-way attack drone.
But that's been going on for some time. The question is, why was it Saturday, Sunday?
Well, I think there was a perception that this threat has been manifest. As the president said, they've been killing Americans for 47 years, and this is something where we can see this is going, and they're going to be able to have with this kind of missile shield.
So do you dispute Secretary Rubio's statement? I think Secretary Rubio inadvertently told the truth the other day, that this was driven by Benjamin Netanyahu, and here we are in a major conflict. Do you not agree that that seems to be the precipitating factor?
Well, I agree with you that Secretary Rubio told the truth. I wouldn't characterize his remarks. They stand for themselves. I know he's spoken a lot. The remarks I've seen of his, the president's, the vice president, the Secretary of War, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, focus on the buildup of Iran's conventional missile
capability. I find it very disturbing that we're committing this nation to war based upon a decision by even though a staunch ally, and I'm a supporter of Israel, but I don't think anybody should drive our decision to go to war, but the interest of the United States.
I think the president made our decision,
Senator.
That's my understanding. Certainly our understanding of the Department of War. The president made our decision. I mean, he makes the decision, obviously.
Well, he made the decision, but it appeared to be based upon the fact that Israel was going to strike. And one of my questions is going to be at the hearing this afternoon. Was any effort made to dissuade the prime minister? Prime Minister Netanyahu has been egging for an invasion of Iran for 20 years. U.S. presidents have consistently said no. And my question is, why now? Let me move on to something else. I'm very concerned about the president's words to the Iranian people. In his speech the other night, in his speeches back in January, the other night he said, "I call upon the Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise." We cannot protect the valiant people of Iran from the IRGC from the air. There is no way that they can be protected without troops. Do you have any different understanding of that? And my concern is that we may be raising the expectations of these people that we will truly have their back when we won't, and they'll be slaughtered again as they were in January.
My understanding, and again, I wouldn't presume to interpret the president's words, but is that this is objectively a historic opportunity. Obviously, you've had the significant erosion of the most, oppressive members of the Islamic Republican government. But ultimately, I think one of the reasons this isn't an example of nation building and this kind of interventionism that Senator Reid mentioned is precisely because it is looking to the Iranian people to take the initiative. I have no question
but the
that
Iranian
it would be risky.
But the Iranian people don't have the guns, Mr. Secretary. The Iranian people don't have the force. It may work. I hope it does. But in this case, the risk is great, and I'm afraid we may have put these people in harm's way by misleading them about our commitment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.